Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. You Can Love Chemistry. Today we are discussing about the solid state chemistry. So first look into what are solids. The solids are definite volume, shape and mass, and they have rigid structure and they are incompressible. That indicates the constituent particles, that is the molecules, atoms or ions are the constituent particles by which a solid is made up of. Constituent particles in a solid is held together by strong intermolecular forces, and that is why they can only oscillate about their main positions. That is, the free movement or the random movement of the particles cannot possible in a solid structure. Okay, they have well ordered arrangement. That is the important characteristic of a solid. Depending on the arrangement of constituent particles, the solids can be classified into two types: amorphous and crystalline solid. So first consider what are crystalline solids. So the crystalline solids, they have definite and regular geometry. That is, they have definite shape, and it is having sharp melting point. That is, as we know, when the temperature increases at a particular point, it start melting. Okay, so in the case of crystalline solids, it is having sharp melting point. Okay, and third point is the atoms or molecules are arranged in a crystalline solid have long range order. Okay, that is the long range, it is having orderly arrangement of particles. Okay, and the fourth point is the anisotropic nature of crystalline solids. That is, what are anisotropy? Anisotropy means these compounds or these solids having some physical properties. Everything have their physical properties, and in the case of crystalline solids, the physical properties like refractive index, electrical conductivity, or the thermal conductivity, or their mechanical strength, their refractive index, such physical properties show different values along different directions. So coming into the case of amorphous solids, the amorphous solids, they do not have any regular arrangement or orderly arrangement of molecules or atoms in their structure. That is, it do not have any definite geometrical shape. Okay, and therefore, unlike crystalline solids, amorphous solids do not have long range order. They are short range order solids. Okay, and second point is it do not have any sharp melting point. Okay, that is the second point. And another point is it does not have any uh, characteristic shape. Okay, it behaves like super cold liquids. Okay, because the arrangement of constant particles are not orderly arranged. That is why it behaves like super cold liquids. Amorphous solids are isotropic in nature. That is, their physical properties are same values in different direction. That is different. In the case of crystalline, it is different, but in the case of amorphous solids, their physical properties like this refractive index, electrical conductivity, electrical resistance, etc., shows same values along different direction. That is why it is called isotropic in nature. Okay, these are the main difference between crystalline and amorphous solids. Next one is the classification of crystalline solids, and depending on their property, the crystalline solids are classified into different types: solids, ionic solids, metallic solids, and network solids. And the first one is the molecular solid, and the molecular solids in which molecules are the constituent particles, and that is again classified into three types: non-polar molecular solids, polar molecular solids, and hydrogen bonded molecular solids. Polar molecular solids, the molecules are held together by weak dispersion forces or London forces in the case of non-polar molecular solids, and they are non-conductor of electricity, that is they are insulators and they have very low melting points. And in the case of polar molecular solids, they are formed by polar covalent bonds, and the molecules are held together by relatively stronger dipole-dipole interaction, and they are also the uh, insulators. And third one is the hydrogen bonded molecular solids, and here the polar covalent bonds are formed between hydrogens and the electronegative atoms like a fluorine, oxygen or nitrogen, and the strong hydrogen bonding interaction are present among the molecules, and that is the main bond through which the molecules are connected in hydrogen bonded molecular solids. That is, hydrogen bonding is the main connection in between the molecules. Okay, and they are also the non-conductor of electricity. Second one is the ionic solids. In the case of ionic solids, ions are the constant particles, and ionic solids are formed by the arrangement of cations and anions, and they are bound together by strong Coulombic or electrostatic attraction, and that is the reason for the three-dimensional arrangement of cations and anions in the case of ionic solids. Okay, and in solid state they are electrical insulators, but in molten state or when it is dissolved in water, the ions become free to move and they can conduct electricity. So in solid state they are electrical insulators, where in the case of molten state or in aqueous solutions they are good conductors of electricity. Okay, they having higher melting point, melting point compared to the molecular solids. Third one is the metallic solids. So metallic solids, they are orderly collection of positive ions surrounded by, or they are held together by a sea of free electrons, and each metal atom can contribute one or more electrons and are responsible for high electrical and thermal conductivity. And metallic solids in which metallic bonding through which the metal ions are connected, and they are conductors in solid state as well as in molten state, and having fairly high melting points. And the fourth one is the covalent or network solids in which the atoms are the constituent particles, covalent bonding through which the atoms are connected. They are insulators and having very high melting points. They are hard materials. These are the important classification of crystalline solids. And I hope you understand the introduction part of the solid state chemistry. We will see in the next class. Thank you.